What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Obviously, every time it is mentioned, Harry Potter, that is, Warner Brothers going forward, they need to make that the star of the show. And the best way to do that is to pay attention to the source material. And the best way to do that is to hire the creator of said source material, J.K. Rowling, which they did. And she is now, we're finding, intimately involved in the television show. Good, because the only other Harry Potter thing they got going on is that Hogwarts Legacy, which just got greenlit for a sequel. Really good. Unfortunately, it came from the same people that had Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, a Sweet Baby Inc. game that, of course, lost so much money that Hogwarts Legacy ended up having to pay an impairment charge to pay for those damages. So going forward, really Warner Brothers needs to pay attention to their franchises, this being a key one. We saw yesterday them mention that, yeah, she's on board. That apparently elements at IGN, even though they were the one doing the interview, didn't like that. Not one bit. And so you can see here, during a press event for HBO and Max, Casey Bloys, he's one of the peeps in charge over there, HBO Max boss. So yes, that'd be one of, not obviously David Zaslav and Peter Safran are there, but right below that is, so he says J.K. Rowling's passionate views about trans issues, wondering if that was affecting and by passionate, I think they mean just normal and rational, but was that affecting the company's ability to find a cast? Here's reply. She's been fairly involved. She was very involved in the process of selecting the writer and director, and I imagine she'll have opinions on casting. It hasn't affected the casting or hiring of writers and production staff, so we haven't felt an impact from that. And continuing on, he says, Harry Potter is a cultural phenomenon, of course, and that's what I'm saying. This needs to be their number one focus going forward. It is clear there is such an enduring love and thirst for the Wizarding World in partnership with Warner Brothers and J.K. Specifically citing J.K. Rowling, because I think it's a bit more than fairly involved. I think deeply involved. New Max original series will dive deep rather into each of the iconic books. So every season we'll have a book, and we're hearing that the video games. So everyone is really going well, and no one is crapping over the fact that Rowling is involved, because as we come out of this insanity and more normal people come out, well, I sort of think there's only two genders, and just because you suffer from body or gender dysmorphia doesn't mean you're an entirely new gender, or just because you identify as this does not make it so, because I've identified for Superman and Batman for quite, and I don't have superpowers, and people refuse to call me the Knight or Vengeance or anything like that. So that's just not working. And that might even be affirming a mental illness depending on the severity of the delusion. So they're big mad that JK speaking her true all these years hasn't affected. If anything, people seem more excited forever. And so you can see here, this is their promotion for it, and this is how they phrase it. J.K. Rowling, who's been posting anti-transgender rhetoric on X since 20. It's not anti-transgender. She acknowledges them, says they exist, but apparently just acknowledging that men and women. But the real problem is I almost said it, but I'll say it, real. What? I'm not real. Of course you are. You know what I meant. Actual, factual, ipso facto, chromosomes. I mean, not your extra ones, but XY, Kyle XY, XX, you get the idea. They're very upset that she's a part of it. And of course, because whatever she has to say about sexual identity has nothing to do with the Harry Potter show, but they felt the need to slap it on there front and center. Yeah, you get the idea. And of course, he can't help himself. He goes on to the Archdiocese. At the end of the day, I don't really care what you do. Just stay away from kids. And maybe, as we've seen in Dragon Age the Veilguard, where all it was the game director, Corinne Bush, a trans woman, biological male, who turned all of the villains into straight white people and turned all of the heroes into ones of ambiguous sexuality or pansexual, or all the things under the sun. Yeah, you get the idea. So they're big mad it's not working out and that we're returning to normal, and thank the gods for that. Either way, let me know what you think about all this. You should have liked, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.